Good morning, students. Myself Suman Shukla, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Rajki Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Bangar, Kannauj. Today's my lecture session. I will discuss with you the Charter Act of 1793. It is related with BA third year, second paper, the constitutional development of India under British rule. Actually, the key word of this lecture session is depends upon the charter. What is charter? The charter is a written statement of the rights, beliefs, and purposes of an organization or a particular group of people. The particular group of people or organization, this is related with company, British East India Company, which was established in India in 1600 AD. Uh, let's come the Charter Act of 1793. In 1793, the company's commercial privileges were extended for another 20 years. The power which had been especially given to Cornwallis on his appointment to overread his council was extended to all further governor general and governors. The control of the governor general over the presidencies of Bombay and Madras at the time of 1793, as you know, there was two presidencies, that was Bombay and Madras, was emphasized during the absence of the governor general from Bengal. He was to appoint a vice president from the civilian members of his council to act for him, or to act like him, to act like governor general. When he went over to Bombay or Madras, he was to supersede the local governor as the head of the administration. The commander in chief was not to be a member of the governor general's council ipso facto. Regarding home government, the first named commissioner of the Board of Control was to be its president. It was another recommendation. The two junior members need no longer be members by the of the Privy Council. All the members were in future to be paid salaries, not out of the state exchequer, but out of the Indian revenues. Actually, before 1793, all the members of the board of control was the shareholder of company. But from 1793, all the members should be paid, salaries paid, and they will not be the member of, they will not be the shareholder of the Indian revenue. Or this practice continued up to 1919. Understand? And further studies, if you want to read this act in detail, you can go, you can take references from A.C. Banerjee, Indian Constitutional Development, Volume C, or A.B. Keith's Constitutional History of India, or A.B. Keith's. There are two written references by A.B. Keith. The another is Speeches and Documents on Indian Policy, Volume 1, and the P. Mukherjee's Indian Constitutional Document, Volume 1. Thank you. All the best.